A couple of years ago, the Creighton Dean was at a national meeting and somebody asked, what is it that's different about Creighton? What makes it so special in some ways? And the Dean said, meet our students.
Creighton has been great at supporting me as a student, and as I've seen with my classmates, all through, from right when you step on campus, figuring out your courses and your books and everything, what you're going to do, and academic aid as well, trying to figure out, how should I be approaching my test taking, how should I be studying, should I be studying in a group or by myself, and really working as what's best for you as an individual.
The first 2 years are the time in which the students learn a lot about basic sciences as well as how they relate to clinical sciences. As a consequence, it's a combination of classroom work, small group discussions, and they'll spend time in continuity clinics seeing patients along with physicians in their various practices. That prepares them to begin their clinical years.
After their first year, medical students at Creighton have the opportunity to spend that summer involved in research in any of the clinical or basic science labs at Creighton. Creighton's areas of research excellence are in the area of hereditary cancer, osteoporosis research. We have very strong microbiology research and very strong pharmacology program. The summer program gives the students a chance to be immersed in either clinical or basic science research, and again to fully understand the integral role that research plays in the development of new therapeutics and new treatments.
Respiratory on room air, no A's and B's. Last apnea was on 417. During third and fourth year, it's great. What we do is we're usually assigned our own patients that we're following, and then we have an attending or a resident that kind of is supervising us. And so we'll see the patients on our own in the morning, kind of see the history and what's been going on, what their vitals are, any new labs that have come out, any changes in their plan of care in the last 24 hours. We write up our note. And then we round as a team, and it's the attending physician, there's some nurses, there's practitioners, residents, and third and fourth year medical students. And we'll present the patient to the attending physician, let them know of what's been going on overnight, and give them what we think the plan of care should be for that day. And they'll either agree or tell us what things we could adjust or change. And it's really great because it gives you a chance to think on your own and come up with a solution of what you think needs to be done, and then get kind of the feedback from the attending as to what direction they would like to take and how that interacts.
All right, good job.
But one of the things that we have to offer here is something that I would call the Creighton family. The students, the faculty, the support staff, everyone looks after each other in this organization. And to me, that's a key reason why you want to come to Omaha.
That's the one thing that I really like about Creighton is we don't rank the students here. It's more of a cooperation. You're going to be colleagues one day, so everyone here is more to help each other out versus a competition. The thing that I think is really important about Creighton is if a student finds a good website, they email it out to the whole class, like, oh, try this site, I found it really helpful. Or we have like the book room and you pass books down to students, and the note service. It just seems like students here are more willing to help each other out or show them the resources that they found or better ways of learning the information.
These compounds are highly lipid soluble.
That was one thing that I really looked forward to about Creighton that I saw here that I didn't see at a lot of other medical schools was the cooperation within the class itself. A lot of medical schools can be kind of cutthroat, and when I came here I found just the opposite. When somebody's studying, if they make out a chart of drug names and their their methods of action, they'll email it to the whole class. Not ask for anything in return, just, hey, I made this chart, I hope it helps anybody out there, and they'll email it to everybody. If people have a question with something that they don't understand, they'll send out an email to the class like, hey, from lecture today, did anybody else think this sounded weird? And somebody will reply with an answer to the whole class again. And so it's really cooperative, very supportive. You really feel like everybody is on the same team trying to succeed as a whole.
The relationship between students and faculty at Creighton is unique. Our size, to some extent, affords this opportunity, but there's a great interaction between faculty and students. Students feel comfortable with interacting with faculty, contacting faculty. Most faculty have an open door policy. Students recognize that and appreciate the openness of the communication that exists between Creighton School of Medicine faculty and our medical students.
For students at Creighton, I would say the faculty is always, their door is always open. You can email them, even catch them after class, and they take the time out of their day and will sit down with you and go through everything you need and more. So I thought the faculty has been really good at Creighton.
When we go out to other hospitals around town or other hospitals around the nation for externships or interviews or things like that, I find that a lot of attendings remark on how greatly prepared the Creighton student is, that they're ready for anything, that they feel like they can trust that student, they feel like they can just throw them right in, and they know that they're going to do the right thing and that they're going to be ready for whatever comes up.
St. Joseph's was looking for a partner in our medical education enterprise here. We've had physicians in training, interns and residents, for over 60 years now, and had relationships with medical schools, but wanted to make a more concerted commitment to one medical school. We surveyed 120 medical schools in the United States and had long conversations with several of them. Creighton University School of Medicine shares our set of values in medical education. We want to work with Creighton to create physician graduates who balance excellence in clinical care and the scientific basis of medicine with a strong humanistic approach and an understanding of the social forces in medicine today. St. Joseph's Hospital is terribly excited to be the first regional medical campus of Creighton University in Omaha. The way that works is someone will go to Creighton for the first 2 years of their basic science and then come here to Phoenix for all of their clinical work in medicine, family practice, pediatrics, etc., and their clinical electives, and then graduate with an MD from Creighton University.
I think the Phoenix program offers some unique areas that adds greater depth. Neurologic disease, for example. They have the Barrow Institute there, which has a very large number of neurologists and neurosurgeons, and actually get their patients from around the world. They're probably the largest neurologic institute in the United States, but they're certainly one of the top 10 in the world.
I think that the close relationship with faculty members and residents, they'll also find to be a very rewarding experience for their overall medical education. And I think last but not least, we want them here. We want them to come here, we want them to have a great experience, and hopefully look at Arizona as a place where they could set up their practice when they're finished.
Here at Phoenix, I've really enjoyed myself because the faculty here, just like at Creighton, are really willing to help you and take the time out to teach you different things. I know on rounds, for me, every day we have like 6 topics that we cover, and the residents are really good about, giving you things to look up and then, explaining them and, printing out, good board exam questions and bringing them in and having us go over them in rounds. And, they just really make sure that teaching is a priority. And that's what med school is all about. And so I think it's a really great place to learn also. And then the weather is great. And there's lots to do. You can go hiking and, do things outside. And so it's a fun place to be also.
I'd like to emphasize that students who come here for the Phoenix track can certainly go back to Omaha for some electives, to the mothership, if you will. And so we see this as a symbiotic, mutual relationship of students rather than this campus or this campus.
Well, Phoenix is a very wonderful place to live, I think. The one thing that I think the students will enjoy is the diverse topography of the state. So the students can have hiking, winter sports, lakes, a lot of extracurricular activities. The city of Phoenix has everything that you could want, from a cultural standpoint, symphony, art, theater, etc., and 4 professional sports teams. We've just put a light rail in, and I will tell you that makes transportation tremendously easy into the downtown area, and the light rail is only 2.5 blocks from St. Joseph's. There is a difference in the attitude of the students from Creighton that we have visited, that have spent time with us thus far. And what do I mean by that? These are students that come looking for opportunities to learn and making themselves available for every opportunity to learn. To me, this is very refreshing. These are students that aren't worried about what time in the afternoon they can get out. These are students that are concerned about how many patients they're going to be able to interact with so that they can learn more. Their work ethic and their commitment to education is amazing, and it's a compliment to the selection process and to them as individuals.
Doing your clinical experience here in Omaha is great because of the diversity. Creighton University sits at the crossroads of the city between different populations within Omaha, and so we see everything. We don't see just one subset of the population, and it's really great because you'll see everything walk through those doors. There's a large Sudanese population here in Omaha, so you get to work with them. There's a large Hispanic population in South Omaha that we serve here at Creighton, so you get a chance to work with a lot of minority populations. Also, you get a diversity of experience within the city of the type of hospital and the type of clinic that you work at. Creighton University takes a lot of the underserved population. We also work at private hospitals across town that serve more of the suburban population. We work at the VA hospital and the Children's Hospital, and then a ton of clinics around town, from large to small, and serving all different types of people. So it's really a good experience here in Omaha. You get to see a lot of different things, a lot of different patients, a lot of different patient problems. And that's, I think, really valuable as a medical student to get a good broad base of what you might encounter down the road.
It's nice because, you know, you're not just at Creighton, so you experience other ways of doing things. You know, you get to meet a variety of people from, you know, all over the country that, you know, maybe have different ways of doing, you know, different parts of medicine. And so it's nice because you get a wide variety of experiences.
The joy of Creighton in Omaha is the commitment of our faculty to the education of the students and the proper care of the students. And I mean that in a diverse way. They look after them, if you will. And I'm sure the same will be true in Phoenix. I have no doubt from my visits to St. Joseph's Hospital that they will have the same effect. It's another faith-based institution. Therefore, they have the total person in mind. I believe they'll have that same total person in mind there as we would have here. But it's a very important component of a Creighton education. The city of Omaha has a lot to offer.
I was very pleasantly surprised. Omaha's a great city. It's much larger than people realize, and there's really a great young feel here, especially around Creighton University. There's multiple professional schools, so it's not just, you know, undergrads and stuff geared towards that age group. There's a lot of professional schools, you know, with the law school and dental school, pharmacy, and the medical school, and so on. There's a lot of that same age group here, and so a lot of stuff in Omaha is kind of geared towards that group. From Old Market to Rosenblatt Stadium, there's plenty to do here in Omaha. I've never been bored in 4 years.
If service is something that's important to you, Creighton can definitely give you tons of opportunities to fill that, you know, desire if you have it. So
a lot of the service actually occurs inside of their own class as they help look after each other throughout their medical school career. But we have a volunteer clinic that's completely run by the students. That clinic has our staff members who help supervise the students as they care for the patients. But the students themselves actually run the clinic, arrange for supervision, arrange for patients to be there and all. We call it the Magis Clinic, and it's a vital component of the volunteer services. In addition, we have Project Cura. Project Cura actually was begun many years ago by one of our own Creighton medical students. And this is providing service throughout the world in a variety of countries, including Vietnam, India, Ghana, Peru, Dominican Republic, and a number of other places over the years. In addition, we have the ILAC program in the Dominican Republic, and for 33 years, Creighton has sponsored this program, and between the junior and senior year, about 25 students generally take advantage of spending about 6 weeks in the ILAC program, working in the villages of the Dominican Republic, understanding the issues of global health and how it affects the care of patients throughout the world. All of these things provide enormous service opportunities, either locally, nationally, or internationally.
Service is really stressed throughout the 4 years, and I think is a great part of making a balanced physician and keeping in mind why you're here and why you're going into this field. So kind of the culmination of medical school is preparing you for your residency. So when you decide what specialty you're going to go into, you apply for a residency program, and everybody around the nation, all the fourth-year medical students, find out on the same day where they're going, and it's called match day, and it's usually in mid to late March, and everybody finds out at the same time where it is they're going to be spending the next several years of their training after medical school. On match day, you go up on stage, you get an envelope, and you open it up, and it says where you've matched to. And the excitement in the room is incredible. Just feeling kind of that nervous energy of everybody, of what the possibilities are, where they might be headed, was really kind of an interesting thing, a lot of fun. And I think our class did amazing. I was so impressed with friends of mine, people around the room, of where they were going and all the places around this country that Creighton was sending its medical students to train further. Very impressive programs and a lot of different fields. And as Creighton medical students, we are prepared to go to these programs.
Their success is Creighton's success. Because to me, that's really the key to why you should come here. Because our goal is to make them successful. And so that as they go out into life as a physician, their success as a physician becomes Creighton's success.